From London yesterday, gave a speech there with a WordPress VIP event. And you know, coming from Hamburg, that's my hometown, going to London with lovely weather, with like 17 degrees, sunshine, I thought even Porto would be better. I mean, now it's just fine again, but it's raining a lot. So when I'm leaving Porto tomorrow, it's going to be sunny again. So think twice to invite me here because I bring that weather with me. Okay, jokes aside, let's jump right into our topic today. Clicker doesn't work. Let's go here. That's me on the side here, talking about Amazon. I mean, I'm not very long in that WordPress business. I'm a joint site, this agency here, from like the beginning of this year. Before that, I ran my own agency, Amazon agency, for 9 years. Sold it last year, and then jumped right into WordPress and all this open source community. And you know, back in the days when I started this agency, I talked a lot about marketing, Amazon marketing, this stuff. And when I just approached people, they said like, what are you doing? Amazon? What can you do with Amazon? I mean, Amazon is like, forget about Amazon. Just stick with Google. Google is the place to be, right? So Amazon is just, no, it's not something what you should work with. Yeah, you should. Because nowadays, working this e-commerce marketing thing, Amazon marketing is definitely kind you should consider. And I learned a lot about Amazon. These days, I learn a lot about WordPress as well. But being 9 years in that business, supporting a lot of clients across the industry, across the globe, I saw a lot of insights about Amazon. And something I want to share with you today, maybe inspire you a bit to, let's say, think about, as a merchant, a bit different. What Amazon is really good in is customer experience, user experience. We heard it before in the talk of Katie. She said, like, I couldn't agree fully more here. Amazon is not the most beautiful shop you ever seen, right? True, absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure if designers are with us today. I studied design a long time ago. And when I look at Amazon, is it beautiful? Not really. But what they can really do is like make something really convenient for users. The shop is pretty fast. It's quite secure, definitely. And there are mass products on the shop, right? So like a lot of products and with a good recommendation system as well. So like that's what they're really good in, keeping clients or customers on the website and trying to sell a lot. I heard like in internal stats from Amazon that 90% of the people starting their journey on Amazon eventually buy something on Amazon. Maybe you want to buy, I don't know what, a rubber, and you end up buying, I don't know what, a cup or whatever. So Amazon is really good in selling something, at least something on the platform. Let's talk about what Amazon, or how Amazon is working behind the curtains, right? You all know Jeff Bezos, right? The founder of Amazon. And there's a myth around every, let's say, that kind of founders guys. And the myth goes that Jeff Bezos once developed the flying wheel, or the Amazon flywheel. So he met with back in the late 90s, where he founded Amazon, with a friend in a bar, a napkin in front of him. And he said, this is how I'm going to build the biggest online shop there's ever been. It's all about growth. We have to be big. We have to be bold, right? I want to build the biggest online shop that's out there in the world. How do we do this? First of all, it comes from selection. So like having a lot of products of the marketplace is crucial for him. With a lot of products on the marketplace, it's all about user experience, right? Because people love to select something. They love to have like a broad selection of items on a marketplace. That's quite logical. And of course, with a lot of nice user experience on the platform, it attracts more and more users to come to the platform and shop more, right? That's logical so far. And with more traffic, more merchants are also attracted by the platform because, of course, they want to have some share from that kind of cake. A lot of merchants coming to the platform, and again, what happens? They extend the selection over and over again. So this alone could work pretty fine. So like growing constantly. But that's not all. Amazon is putting all the growth they have, the margin they earn, in better cost structure because they want to offer cheaper prices. And with cheaper prices, you might guess it already, better user experience comes, right? So the inner greener circle here is like all about what the core system of Amazon is, and they put like an extra power on it and invest and invest and invest a lot in their infrastructure. They're not always the cheapest, definitely not, but what they offer in the market is really, really something. So that's what we call the Amazon flywheel. And what Jeff Bezos drew on the napkin like 25 years ago, it's still in place. I've still got good contacts with Amazon there, and they say like, you know what, we're still doing the same thing like for 25 years ago what we started there. But there's always, let's say, a downside to it, right? Amazon is not good in everything, eventually not. And I want to show you some, let's say, real examples and some real points here, what you really can do better when you look at the system of Amazon. So first of all, it's about brand control. What I mean by that, when I started the company, the Amazon marketing agency, one of our first clients was, and still is after I sold it, Puma. I don't have to explain what Puma is, maybe only that, third biggest sports brand out in the world. And when Puma would decide to go away from Amazon, like Adidas and Nike did, they want to not be involved with Amazon, even then their products would stay on the marketplace. Why? Because merchants like you and I could still offer products on Amazon, Puma products, right? But Puma wouldn't have a control anymore about what's going on with their brand on the platform. So it would be in free fall. What user would write about the product, how merchants would present on Amazon about this product. So they don't really have control about the brand. This is really a problem. For US merchants, let's say US merchants maybe, here are some merchants under us, it's always a race to the bottom when it comes to price. So only cheapest prices are winning on Amazon. Like this is their system. For Amazon it's just fine because they want to have like a best user experience, and user experience is also about cheapest prices. For merchants, it's maybe not the best strategy, right? You don't own the data on Amazon. Really important. Because when you run an online shop, you own everything, right? So design, the logo, the marketing material, and also the client data. So like when customers are buying, you can define whatever customer data you want to have, and you want to kind of keep it and make some assumptions out of this. Analyze the data later, just optimize your product portfolio, these kind of things. On Amazon, you don't get the data at all. I guess you all shopped on Amazon, right? Last time I wanted to just buy a simple USB stick. I was overwhelmed by the products there. So like tons of products, and they all seem to be the same. Like maybe some switches in colors or sizes whatsoever, but the price was similar, the product was similar. I was quite overwhelmed by the selection. And masterclass is exactly what Amazon is good in. And when it comes to content and how you present your products on Amazon, you have some clear limitations. Have you ever dealt with Amazon? Are you selling on Amazon? Anyone? One, two? So like you are familiar? Buying, that's good. But selling on Amazon means also you have to promote your products there. You have to present your products there. So like you can set some product description blocks or whatever. You can also set up Amazon shop, that's fine. And for example, you can have some brand content there as well. But brand content on Amazon means like you have some limited modules you can use. You can, for example, like Gutenberg blocks or something, but you can't really justify them. So like they are there and you can use whatever is there, but it's really limited. In your web shop, you can do whatever you want, right? With Amazon, you're pretty limited what Amazon offers you. So think about this. When you just offer something on your web shop or in your web shop, you can promote and present this as you want. But move away from some theoretical parts into practical things. I brought a story with me today. I want to introduce Max. This is Max. Max is a pretty successful merchant, right? He sells products on Amazon. Maybe products like this. So it's a purpose why I brought this back here on stage. Now you know why. But it's getting better. So Max is selling these kind of products on Amazon, and he's successful, he likes it, but he faces this situation. The main part of his revenue is coming from Amazon. That's fine, that's nice, because he makes a lot of money with that. Problem is, only a tiny portion of his revenue is coming from his own shop or other sources he can control. But Max is really long in the business, so he sells products a lot, it's like for years now. And you see like there's a development, not a good development, because see like the revenue is going a bit down over the years, and I don't have to tell you that, even as non-merchants, revenue coming from your business is going down, it's maybe not the best idea. And the competitors are going up. So like in his niche, selling these kind of bags, more and more competitors, for example, from Asia, exploring the market and just offering products there on Amazon, right? And with this kind of development, you don't have to be a genius to see this could be a problem. And also customers. Customers are spreading all over the place. They're not only buying on Amazon. Right now, they're also exploring products on ChatGPT or buying something on the TikTok shop or something. So customers are not solely based on Amazon. The revenue is going down and the competitors going up. That's not so nice for Max. And Max also see like there's something coming up, chatbots. I mean, the big elephant in the room, AI is everywhere, right? And chatbots changes a lot. Also when it comes to how the customer journey starts. So back in the days, ask yourself, when you want to buy something in the internet, maybe a new bag, what did you do? You go to Google, go to Amazon or whatever kind of store. What do you do there? There's a search bar, right? You're typing in some search keywords, basically that. But that changes right now, and that's what I call a paradigm shift. So people really start interacting with the machine. First time in what we ever see in the internet, it's like really asking the machine what they need and what they want to buy. And this really has an effect on organic traffic. And this really also is maybe an issue for merchants, because when you don't start on Google anymore to research your products, you start on ChatGPT, well then, you can be first on Google, or you can run a lot of Google ads, for example, also paid search. It's fine, but the problem is you won't reach to the people anymore because they start with ChatGPT, avoiding Google, avoiding kind of other search engines as well. And this is really, or might be, an issue for you later on. How can you overcome this? There's a lot of, let's say, rumors out there. I'm not sure if you ever looked into this, but SEO is familiar, right? This shortcut is familiar. You know what's next? What's the new fashion thing? GEO. So like from generative engine optimization. What a bullshit, sorry. But no one really knows how this LLM is really working, right? And a lot of agencies out there tell you like, when you just follow this path, then you're definitely also visible on ChatGPT. Nonsense. But something what we learned also from site, so our agency is operating also in the WordPress area. We're supporting clients with websites. And when can test this with ChatGPT, when you just typed in, what is the best WordPress agency in Europe? Site is coming up. Not because we are just the greatest, but because we recognize that expertise, authority, and personal content is really important for us. So we're focusing more and more on this of kind of a unique content, not this recycled, sorry my French, bullshit. We really want to create something which is new. Some people opinions, some experience with clients, something which ChatGPT can't generate. And this is also important for you as a merchant later on. Also another reason why I brought this back here. Let's do some home shopping, right? Beautiful bag. Back in the days, 8 years ago, I wanted to buy a new laptop bag. And I've traveled a lot. So like also as a commercial director, I'm a lot of in planes and these kind of stuff, so short trips. And I always have like my small suitcase with me. You know, these small hand luggage suitcase you can drop, just slide out this holder. And I just want to drop this bag on my holder. This kind of functionality I want to have. Really hard to find these kind of products because that's the functionality I'm talking about, right? You can just put this holder here. This is how it works. Problem is, 8 years ago, I didn't have any kind of, let's say, LLM, any kind of chatbot to use. So what did I do? Anyone know how to name this? What is that? Any idea? Even now, I don't know. Come again, what is it?
A bag with 2 openings for travel.
See what's going on?
Yeah.
A bag which is an opening where I can put blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
A ChatGPT system would easily understand you.
Yeah.
A Google search engine, no way. It was so frustrating. I want to have like this kind of bag. So like it should be brown, should be made of leather. It should be not too big because I only have like small laptops with me. I want to put it on the slider because I'm getting old and yeah, I don't want to save my energy. And really, it was really hard to find this product. And the merchants all did the same mistake. They had some really nice photos made from these kind of bags, from the front, from the side, from inside, but not from this perspective. damn it took me hours to buy this kind of thing. And I want to keep it because it was really hard to find. And later on, I said, okay, let's test ChatGPT. And this is Perplexity, and this is ChatGPT. Even the old model, you can see ChatGPT 4.0, so like pretty old. I said, you know what, this is in German language, just translate this quickly. I want to have a brown leather bag, and where I can put the leather bag on my suitcase when I'm traveling with hand luggage. So I need this functionality on the back. And immediately, within seconds, you see Perplexity, you see Google, the chatbot, leads also to Google, but also to web shops, right? Avoiding Amazon completely. So here was no Amazon link included, all to directly to some web shops. And I would be absolutely happy back in the days buying that bag not on Amazon, but for example on the smaller web shops. Absolutely fine. In the end, I ended up on Amazon. Tried some bags, sent some bags back because I couldn't see like what's on the back of the bag. But in the end, that's what I'm talking about. Chatbots are really changing the customer experience and how people start researching, because now you can simply describe what you want and this machine is putting out the right research results without Google, without Amazon, right? What do you need to get to this kind of, let's say, research results? It's really hard to measure because seriously, I can't answer this in a proper way because no one really knows how an LLM deep works. But what you need to have on your website, precise answers, structured data are also really important. Maybe also think about an FAQ on your website, right? And this also could be generated by ChatGPT or whatever, Google Gemini. So think about what the user really needs to know about the product, and you can interact with the chat system as well. And your site needs to be very fast because the crawling speed is also very important here. And don't forget about classical SEO. Why? Because what we learned so far from ChatGPT, it's not only connected to e-commerce, it's also connected to other businesses as well. When you are listed with important keywords on Google in the first search results, this is a trustworthy signal also for ChatGPT and other LLMs. So they crawl also Google and say, okay, when I'm looking for a leather bag or whatever, and this store or this web shop is placed on Google, place 1, 2, 3, whatever, should be really important, so I'm listing it here on my own search results. Search results, not really, but in the results here, right? So keep in mind that your shop should be, let's say, simplified and optimized for these kind of things. Coming back to Max. As I said, Max is really successful. So one day, Max got up out of the bed, had a really nice night, went to the kitchen, made a nice coffee, went to his workstation, wanted to log into Amazon, and oh my gosh, the account was suspended. And now imagine how Max must have felt. The coffee was not really tasty anymore, I guess. I mean, 80% of his revenue comes from Amazon. He might also have to pay some salaries, some employees, his rent, a car, put food on the table. And now 80% are gone immediately. And I can tell you from experience that this doesn't happen every day, but that happens from time to time. And you don't have to make a mistake yourself. Sometimes it's a technical issue, and then you're banned from Amazon, at least for some days. And Amazon learned something here. Not Amazon, Max learned something. He recognized that when he keeps going with that, even when his account is active again, it's a problem, because Amazon itself is not the problem. The problem is that he relies too much on Amazon. So his entire business is focused on a vendor login thing, and he can't really control it, right? But the issue also is, it's very kind of easy to get traffic on Amazon, because the users on Amazon are only there with one intention. They want to buy products. That's quite obvious so far. Thing is, you can't control what's going on there. On the other hand, you can do a lot of cool things with your shop. But I guess you ever launch a website, you ever launch a shop, then you just lay your hands in your lap and say, I'll wait for organic traffic. It's going to be very difficult, right? So traffic also has to be, let's say, generated for your shop. And when you ever run Google ads, compare this with Amazon ads, especially in the product area, Google ads are way more expensive. So you need to either have good margins, deep pockets, and also good nerves to just invest there. But eventually, Max got control back from his own web shop, and the situation Max found himself in is something what he wanted to change, right? So Max wanted to more move in that direction. Amazon is still a good place to sell products, so don't get me wrong. Please don't abandon Amazon completely. You can sell good on Amazon, but you shouldn't rely solely on Amazon. Your own shop should be in the mix pretty strong, and don't forget about social. Why social? I guess you all heard about TikTok, right? TikTok shop, ever bought something on TikTok? No one? Me neither. Maybe you're all too old for that, I don't know. But you know, when I would have talked about this topic 10 years ago, I would say, never, never, ever this will happen, that someone is going to buy something inside social media, because social media is all about opinions, and you share some nice pictures, you say how good you are and about what a nice guy you are, but no one will buy on social media ever, ever. TikTok proved us all wrong, because now in the US, this one is really, really popular and really successful. And it's just recently also started in Germany, and it's also pretty successful there. Do you know those two players, Temu and Shine? Have you ever bought on Temu or Shine? Me neither. 1, 2, 3. How was the experience?
It was good. I didn't buy like high quality stuff. I was buying rings and cases.
Cheap stuff.
Yeah.
How long have you waited for your item until it arrived? 1 week.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Before Temu and Shine approached the Western Hemisphere, I would say they will never be successful, because Amazon taught us, like, if you buy something, it arrives like within 1 or 2 days, right? And if it takes longer, no one will buy there. And if you can't return the product, even absolute no-go. Both cases are true here. So like you wait until sometimes more than 2 weeks for your item, and you can't return it, right? So, but they are still there, and people are buying there like crazy. So there is also a shift back from Amazon to these kind of new players. And this forced, by the way, also Amazon in a complete new role. Ever heard of Amazon Haul? Ever heard of it? It's still the beta phase. But Temu and Shine forced Amazon, this is really crazy, to launch their own cheap marketplace where you can buy this China crap, also on Amazon. But now within the Amazon ecosystem and not in the China ecosystem anymore. That's also pretty crazy, and Amazon does the same thing. So they order the products in China, and you have also the 2 weeks delivery time there as well. So there's a lot of shift in the e-commerce area, and this could be also, let's say, a chance for smaller merchants. So back to Max. Luckily, he got his account back, but he wants to move away from this solely focused business, right? So Amazon is also still important for him, and he wants to stay with that, but he wants to also focus more on the shop. And more importantly, he doesn't want to have this huge vendor login anymore. I mean, right now, WordCamp, WordPress, WooCommerce, this is all open, right? But you could also decide to go with Shopify. No problem, because Shopify, you don't need to have any kind of technical knowledge. Hosting is included, so Shopify makes it very easy for you to start with an online shop. Problem is, same with Amazon, what happens if you're really successful with a Shopify shop, and Shopify then increases the prices a lot and eats all your margin away? What then? Or Shopify closes the door, and then what? With WooCommerce and with WordPress, you own everything what you set up so far, even if Matt is going crazy. Sometimes that could happen, or something else is happening. What then? You still own everything what you have so far, right? And you still can develop something in that area. But what with Max? So like he has an idea, and this idea I want to share with you. We talked about the flywheel of Amazon, right? So like how people got attracted and kept in the system. And again, you don't have to abandon Amazon completely. You can use Amazon as the first starting point in the customer journey. So what Max is about to do is use Amazon, and when he sends the products to the client, to the customer, he doesn't use an, let's say, boring usage like this typical brown baggage anymore. He designs his own packages, his own boxes, with a big QR code on it, for example. Or something else like a discount for the next buy in his shop or whatever. So when user is scanning this kind of item, this kind of QR code, it gets directly, for example, to his web shop. Could be a nice landing page explaining the system. Yeah? Are you allowed to do that? Good question. Coming to that later. It's a gray zone. Good point. What Amazon doesn't like is to distract people. Like they want to keep people on the platform. So what you're not allowed to do on Amazon is to actively promote your shop. That's not possible. So like, for example, for the second buy, you get 10% discount or whatever. But if the design of your product, there's like part of the design of your product which is leading to something else, for example, explaining a product better, that's the gray zone, and sometimes Amazon accept that. So, but it's a good, fair question. You have to be careful here, right? But Max is really brave. Max tries to something right now. Or you also can do like some social media links there as well. For example, an explainer video. Something which really deeply explain how to use your product. Or to also prevent users or customers from returning that product because you explained it pretty well. Or you just present your brand, how sustainable you are, what you do like for other people, if you do have some charity events as well. So keeping people in your own ecosystem. And for example, if you have a nice YouTube video explaining how the product could be used, from that YouTube video, no one can force you to lead back to Amazon, right? You can then say, here's the link to the next whatever thing you want to buy, and promote your shop directly. So, what Max also learned is these 3 things. AI is there to stay. I guess that's not a big surprise to tell you here. But how do we use AI these days? To explore the right product, maybe, definitely. But we can also use AI from the merchant perspective to cross and upsell. We can use AI for analyzing the client behavior and making some predictions out of that. So Max is about to just use his own product data and client data, customer data, to cross and upsell and segment his audience even better. Payment methods, of course, I don't have to tell you about this. We have some good sponsors here today talking about payments, but also about personality. Really important here, because what Amazon will never do is getting personal with the content and the brand. Amazon wants to keep everything convenient, everything very lean and very straightforward. But this is a big chance for smaller shops to tell a story about, I don't know what, how you founded the company, how good your product is, for example, how sustainable you produce your product, where it comes from, how it could be used on these kind of things, right? You can offer some great support there. Have you ever tried to reach out to an Amazon support?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
I actually bought something that I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
And I called them and I told them that I was buying a tablet, Xiaomi tablet.
Yeah, okay.
And I told them it was fake, or I thought it was, and they instantly said that they told me that they were going to refund me, and I didn't even have to return the item.
True.
So they are like very good all the time.
That's good, definitely. When you turn it around and being a merchant there, so like selling products there, try to reach out to the support again. What you get? Some predefined text modules. That's it. Or in the 4th point of contact, some guy in India repeating this text modules again. And when it comes to really serious issues with the product, also there is no phone number on the Amazon page, so you can't reach out to personal contact there phoning someone. A big advantage what you can offer with your own small web shop. Being personal, Amazon is definitely not personal. They have a great service, definitely, but when there's like an individual problem, the only solution they have is like send it away or just send it back and that's it. That's nice from a customer perspective, but if you really need help with a product, then you're kind of lost. You don't want to send it back. You want to know how to use it. That's a problem. So for you, you can play a different game. Own your data. I repeat myself. So with your own shop, you own your data. You can do whatever you want with the data. You also can say like, which kind of data I need from my clients, right? So do I really need a telephone number? Do I really need an email address or a postal address? So what do I need from my clients? Birth date, for example. Female, male, whatever gender. So you can do with these kind of data inside your shop some analytics and, for example, optimize your product portfolio. Oh man, I still don't get why online shops these days don't look so more beautiful, because in the end, the shop's still looking like 10 years ago. Like, it's like there's a logo, right? There's a typical homepage. Then we have this big slider. Then we have categories, listing products. Then we have product detail pages. There's again a slider, an add to cart button, and a text block. Wow. And now you expect people to buy from you. The same experience they have on Amazon, but on Amazon they have trust in the platform. Why should they trust you? Why not personalize everything, make something bold out of it, some great landing pages, and forget about this old-fashioned start page where like, I have a discount, we have like now this season, oh, come on. I mean, this surprise the customers with something new, personalize it. Cross and upsell, we heard it about today like from Katie. Think about cross and upsell on Amazon. She explained it like they do a great job on Amazon, that's true. But you know, if you promote products on Amazon, if you sell products on Amazon, I could enter your product page immediately and promote my own product on your product page. I can steal your traffic away easily, and that's allowed because Amazon doesn't care which kind of products are linked. They only care if there's a good user experience. If it's coming from the same merchant, they don't care. And please put some design work in it. Are designers here today? Or let's say design fashion people? There you are. I also studied design back in the days, a long time ago. And what we also learned back in the days, like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, was like, do something surprising. Do something which is really tailored to your target audiences. When you, for example, sell products in the fashion era, why not style your shop like it's a really great fashion shop out in the world? When you enter, for example, do you know Mont Blanc? This really high sophisticated pencil brand. Have you ever been to a Mont Blanc store? We have some in Hamburg, for example. I visited one in London. Porto, I guess in every major city there's a Mont Blanc shop. When you enter a Mont Blanc shop, it's crazy what they do for customers. It's like it's smelling nice. The door is going to be open from the inside for you, so you only have to walk through, right? The customer experience is great because they sell really expensive products. If they're really always worth the price, I don't know. But they offer something really worthy, and they offer also a really great service. What do we do online? Well, you shop, want to buy. If you don't want to buy, I don't care. Make something great. Design your brand like the user would expect that. And again, create your own flywheel, as I said before. Think about what Amazon does. Amazon is like investing a lot in their own brand and how to keep people in their own system, right? It's really hard to compete and you can't copycat this. This is true. But what he can do is like think about the client or the customer, what he really wants, how to combine products, how to automate things, for example. You have the email address, and when we have some lawyers here, we should ask lawyers how to use the data properly. But if you just keep up with, let's say, the GDPR and all the other data privacy things, then you can also create some nurturing processes and reach out to clients with some surprising newsletters or whatsoever. Just generate an great user experience in your own shop and keep people there. That's exactly what Amazon also is doing. So last advice here, from me to you. There's a lot of changes right now, and I don't have to tell you that. Everyone recognizes this. There's a lot of things going on technology-wise. Also, we are forced to handle data differently than we could do like 10 years ago. We have a lot of other things which all this in changes right now. For example, last time I did a conversation with ChatGPT last night in my hotel. So like discussing some business things with ChatGPT. It's crazy. Like not only with text, but also with voice. He answers right away, also in perfect German. And you sit there sometimes I really laugh because ChatGPT said to be like, you know, we are all human beings and this and that. Say, oh, stop. We are not all human beings. You are not a human being, but he acts like one. And ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Perplexity, you name it, all these kind of systems changes a lot. How we interact with machines, how we shop, and how we explore products on Amazon and co, or out in the world. So last metaphor here. Think about Amazon as the big nightclub, right? The big dark nightclub, a lot of people, different floors, loud music, and you're only one part of the nightclub. Your shop should be compared to that, more the, let's say, cozy wine bar from the neighborhood. You define the music. You decide which kind of light you want to have. And no one kicks you out of your own cozy wine bar, right? You can define whatever you want. And you can create a nice user feeling within your own system. That means I have to go, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
That's my own timer. You can define whatever you want. That's the point. And in the end, also really important, people trust people. People want to buy in a trusty environment from other people. So if you show some personality, that's a good thing to do, because personality you will never find on ASOS, you will never find in big shops like Amazon. It's all convenient, it's mass but no class. Be the class, not the mess. And that's something really what you should take care about in the future. That's basically it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm still here for questions.
The session, so feel free to ask any question.
If there are questions. Yep, there's one question.
Yeah, so thank you. It was really inspiring to see all these new ideas. I just have one doubt, because nowadays, and I have been on Web Summit, so I've come with all these influences from what's going ahead, and many people are talking about nowadays LLMs will be the ones who are doing the buying, the process of buying.
Yeah.
So do you think that it will be some kind of bifurcation on e-commerce, like I should optimize my store for LLMs because I just want an LLM experience, and the humans will prefer a rather different experience when buying? Because as we know, LLMs, they like some routine, they know what they are doing.
Yep.
And if we are going to be bold, maybe LLMs will not be very comfortable about buying in your very innovative store. Do you think there is a possibility for this bifurcation?
Very good question. When I get it right, it's like how should we operate, right? So like being both being creative, but also risking that an LLM can't really read your shop anymore. I guess right now we have to do both. We have to have the, let's say, boring part of the online shop still in place, like a typical product listing, as I said, structured data, like that the semantic is pretty clear on the shop. But you can also create a lot of landing pages only for users, right? So for example, if you are on your shop and there's like a brown leather bag, you can link to a landing page explaining this more in detail, maybe a personal story, how to get to this kind of bag or whatever, how you use this in the real life. So like edit content, great. By the way, also video content is pretty important. You can also integrate video content on your typical landing pages or typical product pages, but having also structured data in place is really important. Not forget about this, but adding something more so that you show the user, the potential customers, that you really care and understand them. So that you really make a difference for them. That's something I would recommend. You're welcome.
Thanks, Ronnie. So you said Amazon doesn't show in ChatGPT. You confirm that?
No,
Amazon products don't show on ChatGPT?
Sometimes they can show, but often what I saw so far, it's only directly online shops, which are listed there.
Right. So what is Amazon doing right now to fight against AI or to embrace it?
That's a very good question. And to be honest, I can't really understand why Amazon is not going deeper into this, because Amazon has its own AI called Rufus. Rufus is summarizing the reviews of products. That's basically it. I guess the reason why they haven't launched their own chatbot is the same reason why Google got so late in the game. Amazon, especially the marketplace, is not really earning money with selling the products, but they are earning money with advertising. So when they have their own ChatGPT or whatever system included, this system would go around the ads, and then they would earn less money. Really hard to judge what they are going to do later on. But I guess what we will see is like shifting away from there's only, let's say, a small whatever search bar, also more voice recognition. And I guess what also is coming up next is the Alexa devices. You can also interact more and more voice-based with Alexa and real AI behind it. I'm not sure if someone is owning this kind of ecosystem, and it's really, really old-fashioned. We can't really interact with that. adding AI to this and just only supporting their Amazon products, this could be a game changer for them. So voice is going to be very important for Amazon in the future, an assumption.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for your talk. The question, do you see for a period of 3 years, let's call it, agents do shopping for us? If so, what is the answer for the online owners? Schema.
That's a good thing. Depends on which kind of products you're trying to shop with an agent, right? So let's say you want to buy a new TV and it costs like 2,000 euros. Do you want to trust one agent to buy it for you? I doubt it. For cheaper products, definitely it will be like a convenient thing. You go to the supermarket and you buy another package of milk or whatever. So maybe you have your own, your favorite brand or whatever, and then you go directly to the shelf and put it out, and this is basically it. For this, there's going to be an agent in the future, I guess. For more explainable products, you have to explain more in depth. Agents, I have my doubt that they really will shop there. On the other hand, we still need shops, because these agents need to be fed by any kind of structured product data. So having a shop which is really good structured is really also important for agents in the future. So really hard to tell right now what's going on there, but I assume for cheaper products you need to be ready that no one really will go to your online shop anymore and browse through your categories. Therefore, really trying to A/B testing something. So when you have like a category, trying to set another category to just set up the product data there differently, and trying to optimize this only for ChatGPT and all these kind of systems. Hard to tell, but cheaper products definitely will be bought by agents in the future. More explainable and more technical products, I guess, is still up for human beings to explain that. But again, add your content with video. Video is really important. Video is personalized, and no ChatGPT system will ever replace yourself in front of a camera and explaining something really in depth, because you are a human being, and again, people trust human being more than machines, hopefully also in the future.
So we are running a bit out of time, so maybe we end now the session. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
your talk. I hope you remember forever the perfect
Oh,
rainy
nice.
day we had
Yeah,
here.
I will definitely.
So thank you.
Thank you so much.